Also, I've been really interested in the Amazon Union Drive in Bessemer, Alabama. This will be huge. Amazon is one of the most profitable corporations in the world, majority owned by the richest human being on the planet, Jeff Bezos. And the workers in Bessemer, Alabama, have been working at trying to organize a union, and they just had a vote. The results aren't out yet. Um, oh, Andrew, well, I'll get to that about Buttigieg Bitegate. We'll get to that. I already went after Buttigieg pretty hard in my last week, but I'll do it again. I'll do it again. But so the Amazon union vote. This is in the BBC. Amazon versus the union. The vote. The online giant fears. Amazon has looks like they've straight up broken the law, trying to subvert this vote. They changed. They changed what do you call it? They changed a traffic light, like the timing of a traffic light, so people couldn't pass out literature to staffers driving in to work. I mean, they did all kinds of creepiness. They've passed out propaganda, and just there's a lot you can learn about all the gross shit they've done about this. But Amazon workers in Bessemer, Alabama voted in a historic poll, decided whether they wanted to be represented by the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union. Results aren't expected till next week. If they say yes, it will become Amazon's first U.S. union. Amazon argues its wages and benefits are industry beating and has gone into battle to persuade workers to vote no. Most agree the outcome would have major implication for U.S. labor laws. Peter Roman Friedman, principal of the law firm Gupta Wessler PLLC, said, quote, "The key question in America at the moment is, are we going to have fair treatment of workers in the businesses that will dominate our future? There will be ramifications for the real economy, but also for tech firms. The concept that workers get a seat at the table is a radical concept for people in Silicon Valley." So tech companies are massive. They treat their workers like garbage, absolute garbage. I mean, everybody, like, it's no secret. People know that, the startup world, they'll hire all these developers or all these coders and all other kinds of staff, and then once they get what they want, they just fire everybody. They do mass firings. A bigger company comes and buys them up. The owner, whatever turtleneck wearing douchebag, gets a giant sum of money, and everybody else gets the shaft. And this is after, I mean, how many? There's so many weird, creepy stories of, like, people living in their cars, coders who live in a moving van out in the parking lot of whatever company. Well, they provide a gym and all the food and everything, so I just sleep in this moving van. It's just crazy. Niall says it's also getting late for the East Coast. Oh, that's why people are leaving. You're trying to make me feel better now? I appreciate that. Thank you. We're up to 10 now. Thank you, folks. If you haven't, please like the stream, all that stuff. Please, the demonic algorithms that rule our lives. But let's see. Yeah, Amazon has 800 facilities in the U.S. I mean, they do not want to pay. They do not want to pay a living wage. They pay $15 an hour now, but that was because they were shamed openly by Bernie Sanders and progressive organizers around the country. Amazon had a total embarrassment earlier in the week. I think was it this week? Yeah, March 24th. Or maybe it was last week. Do workers really have to urinate in bottles? Representative Mark Pocan. I mean, this has been well known. People in the warehouses, drivers, they have to pee in bottles because they cannot, they can't make the quotas, the inhuman quotas that they put on people. Mark Pocan said, paying workers $15 an hour doesn't make you a progressive workplace when you union bust and make workers urinate in water bottles. Amazon News replied, if you don't really believe you don't really believe the peeing in bottles thing, do you? If that were true, nobody would work for us. The truth is that we have over 1 million incredible employees around the world who are proud of what they do and have great wages and healthcare from day one. This sounds like we're a family here, shit. You know what I mean? Anybody had a workplace that tells them that? Don't fall for that stuff. Don't fall for that stuff. So very interesting. So we're waiting on this we're waiting on this result. And I look at that. I mean, Ken Klippenstein did a great. He got internal Amazon documents about the peeing in bottles for The Intercept. But look here, I mean, we didn't even need that. We all knew it was true. But also, look this. I was the person who found the pee in the bottle. Trust me, it happened. James Bloodworth here with his tweet about this. Yeah. I'm going to follow this guy. So look at the stat and consider the context. Let's see. A recent survey of Amazon warehouse workers in England by the group Organized found that 74% were afraid to go to the toilet during a shift out of fear of missing productivity targets. On one occasion, I found a Coca-Cola bottle containing urine sitting incongruently on a warehouse shelf amid the assorted miscellany. Wow. I love the way British people word stuff. Among the assorted miscellany was a bottle of urine. It was very problematic. This is really interesting because Amazon already put the tamp down on organizing in New York, which this was troublesome too. Let's see. And here's a guy from Staten Island talking about this is in Status Coup. Let's hear this.
What exactly is the story there?
Well, time and time again, whenever media shows up, Amazon always has the heads up, and what they'll do is they'll inform like associates, mainly the process assistants and managers will be informed, and what they'll do is they'll call it media day. It's funny how media day for media. Well, what they'll do is they'll inform them, and they'll say, all right, each department will have their own group chat set up on Amazon Chime, which is an internal networking system that Amazon uses. And they'll communicate and they'll tell them, make sure that these specific stations are clean so that this is where the media will be viewing. So they'll make sure that they'll show the media what they want them to show them. And also they'll have associates go on break at certain times earlier than expected, so that the media it'll basically seem like everyone's social distancing or it's not that many people working when there is a lot of people working, over 5,000 associates working. So they'll do this every time the media comes, and they'll clean that specific stations.
So what he's talking about here is the conditions are not COVID safe, but then they will send people on break when the media shows up, Amazon management, so that it appears that everything is COVID safe when it is in fact not at all. So incredibly manipulative, incredibly gross. But this is kind of what we've just come to expect from life in America in the no longer in the aughts, we're now in the 20s. The 2020 was a hell of a way to start it, right? Remember what we have 100 years ago, the Roaring 20s, and now we're in. 20. Was roaring in a different way, but it was very much with pain and anguish and suffering. No, but what we're living through, guys, is we're living in another Gilded Age, right? And I mentioned before I'm pursuing a history degree, and if you don't know, if you don't know about the Gilded Age, here's history.com, very vanilla, normie. Like history website. But the Gilded Age is the term used to describe the tumultuous years between the Civil War and the turn of the 20th century. The Gilded Age, A Tale of Today, was a famous satirical novel by Mark Twain set in the late 1800s, and it was its namesake. During this era, America became more prosperous and saw unprecedented growth in industry and technology. But the Gilded Age had a more sinister side. It was a period where greedy, corrupt industrialists, bankers, and politicians enjoyed extraordinary wealth and opulence at the expense of the working class. In fact, it was wealthy tycoons, not politicians, who inconspicuously held the most political power during the Gilded Age. And so that's what we're dealing with now. Robber barons, railroad tycoons were just one of the types of many so-called robber barons that emerged in the Gilded Age. Right now, we're dealing with Silicon Valley billionaires, and keep in mind, people like Jeff Bezos came from wealth. Elon Musk came from wealth. Elon Musk's father owned a gem mine in South Africa, a direct, outcome of colonialism and apartheid and white supremacist, hegemony over the whole frickin' global South. Some wealthy entrepreneurs, such as Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, and Henry Frick, are often referred to as robber barons, but may not exactly fit the mold. Well, now what we're dealing with is the Walton family, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of these characters. Don't hate Bill Gates for, you think he's going to put microchips in your skin. Hate Bill Gates because he's massively wealthy and he hoards wealth. Here's it's really messed up that the cartoons from the Gilded Age translate so perfectly into our own time. It's just like they look a little different. Sorry, I'm trying to gosh darn it. This is my new computer, and so it's a little goofy. Almost got it. Almost. Yeah. I'm just trying to make it so you can actually see this damn picture. How about that? Dang it. Hold on a sec. Man, it's annoying. I'm just trying to pull. Here we go. Jeez. Oh. Took forever. It's like trying to pick up a dime when you just clipped your fingernails. But so you can see these are the robber barons. I think that says Steel Beam Trust, Copper Trust, Nail Trust in the back. I mean, there's coal is over here. These are all these big time fat cat robber barons. And here you see these little teeny tiny, politicians below them that are just are they really having an influence over us? Absolutely, they are. They're dominating the whole legislature, right? So that's what we have now, we see it manifested in different ways. In one way, it's massive wealth and income inequality. It's like what we see in California at Skid Row. People getting kicked out of their homes. Here this was years ago, I think in 2019, but this is just them the LAPD sweeping out Skid Row. They just did this in Echo Park, giving the guy a smile. Hey buddy, you just need to get out of here. Cops obviously working in the name of wealth and capitalism, and just clearing people who are already treated like the refuse of our society because they've been ground up by the gears of our system, just treated like nothing or nobody because they don't have a ton of I don't know, because they just don't have enough money for housing because we haven't built affordable housing or public housing. We haven't we've completely removed the progressive policies that we used to have, our social safety net. This is what Reaganism was about dismantling all of this stuff. I call it the great dismantling of the great society, of our progressive, society just going, and now we see so many things pile up. So many issues have piled up on top of they're one on top of the other, these problems that we have. Here in, really quick, let me just bring it to a local angle. If you guys are watching me from around here on the Central Coast, excuse me, a few years ago, a beloved Santa Maria, California is known for its barbecue. It's Santa Maria style barbecue, tri-tip, everybody. Come and get a tri-tip. And one of our most beloved steakhouses, Shaw's, burned down, and it only just reopened after years, because a few years. It had to be, it didn't completely burn down. It had to be restored and everything. But what happened was, it appeared, I did reporting on this, and the fire fighters there at the scene said it appeared somebody had started a fire in the alley just next to it, and it caught the building on fire. So these are unhoused people probably trying to keep warm. Who knows if it was arson? But so, one of our beloved steakhouses catches fire. Like, it really is an institution. Like, Santa Marians, for the weeks following that fire, would kind of look around and give each other like a knowing look in the eye, like, oh boy, it's never going to be the same. Or like, it hit us hard, especially, foodies like me. It really hit us hard. But so the Shaw's has only been open a little while again, and what happens? But another of our famous steakhouses, the Swiss, used to be known as the Swiss Chalet. It got burned. It caught on fire, and a firefighter was even injured responding to it. But then they arrested a woman suspected for arson. I'm not going to scroll down to her mugshot because I don't feel the need to just put her face on blast there. But here's the fire department responding to it. And the crazy thing is after looking at this woman's mugshot, I recognized her. I saw her in a parking lot the other day that I was driving through. And she was screaming at at cars. I saw her lunge in front of a car that slammed on its brakes. And the people looked freaked out, and she was screaming at them. And she was obviously in dealing with mental health issues or a crisis. And this is what's become of our society. We're living in this dystopian hellscape because the wealthy refuse to pay their fair share of taxes. They manipulated Americans by racializing the social safety net. In the 60s, Richard Nixon came in and we're talking about law and order. We need law and order. And then Reagan, after that, came in with his reactionary politics, but also racializing the social safety net. We all need to be concerned about the welfare queen driving her Cadillac and collecting welfare for 50 people or whatever bullshit, completely constructed story he was making. Meanwhile, Reagan is conducting a secret government, with exchanging arms with Iran secretly to fund right-wing guerrilla groups in Nicaragua, the Contras, to murder innocent people. And the CIA is funneling cocaine into the metropolitan areas of the United States. Like, really sick, dark stuff was going on throughout all of this. And the right wing creating the crime issues to scare white America and suburban America to ensure their votes in a way, and then chipping away at all the programs that were massively popular, massively loved by all Americans, whether it is, it was the social safety net, the affordability of college, the neoliberalism, privatizing just about everything possible. Anything that isn't bolted down, we're going to rip it out, and that's going to be now, America Inc. now, if you ask us. But I've been neglecting the chat. I don't want to do that, guys. Let me see here. John Ross out about Tom Hartman. Yeah, he's cool. He's not bad, He's a lib, bro. How about that? He's a lib. Andrew World. My child once said, quote, you said robber barons. Are you talking about the Bernstein Bears? That's funny. Kirk Ghouls. I'm not a chat guy, but just wanted to say this has been fun. And screw the dumb reactionaries. Hell yeah, Kirk. You're awesome. You're very wonderful people. We love you. Thank you very much. Why don't you, if you haven't, man, subscribe, sub. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I have a TikTok, too. I still have not posted more than one video. But at Political Pain, Payne. Like to talk shit. I'm definitely anti-dumb left. I was a daily viewer of Michael Brooks and all his content, and was devastated to see we lost him. It messed me up, and I have been going to work trying to kind of help carry the torch that he held for all of us.